Hey, welcome back. This is weekly recap number 5, covering the 4th through to the 10th of August. Every week, I sit down and go through exactly what my Go mining setup earned and what it looks like. So, this week specifically, I want to actually walk you through my withdrawal strategy, just in case you're wondering what I do and how I handle rewards. So, let's get into it. Let's start with Bitcoin. So this was a genuinely strong week for Bitcoin. It opened around $63,131 and closed at $64,800, which works out roughly 2.7% over the 7 days. If you look at the chart, it wasn't a straight line up. There was a dip midweek, a proper pullback, but it did recover into the weekend and push back up near 65,000. For context, the 24-hour trading volume on Bitcoin right now is sitting at around $15.5 billion and market cap is holding at 1.3 trillion. So despite the short-term wobble midweek, the broader trend this week was clearly bullish. That matters for us because every reward I earn is earned in Bitcoin. So when the price climbs, the dollar value of what's landing in my wallet climbs along with it, even if the actual Bitcoin amount stays flat. Now on to the GoMining token itself. This is a token that covers fees on the platform, so it's worth tracking separately from Bitcoin. This week it opened around 28 cents and closed on the higher end of 28 cents. It's up about 1.1% on the week. If you look at the 7-day chart, there's actually a sharp dip in the middle. Gold mining dropped down to 25 cents for a short window before recovering back up to 29-cent range. So I don't have full clarity on what caused that dip, but it's worth noting the platform did mention a token rebrand recently, so there may have been some volatility tied to that transition. However, I am not 100% sure. Either way, it closed the week higher than it started, which is a number that actually matters for us. Let's talk about the fees because this is the part that most new miners don't fully understand until they've been doing it a while. So every single day, two things get deducted from your rewards: electricity and service. This week, electricity ranged between 1.14 and 1.31 Go mining per day, and service ranged between 0.69 and 0.79 Go mining per day. Add those up across the whole week, and I paid roughly 3.28 Go mining in total fees, which at this week's average price works out to around $3.84. That's the cost of running 7 miners at 30.58 terahash a second for the week. It's not nothing, but it is a small fraction of what actually gets earned, especially once the discount kicks in. Which brings me to the next part. This week's discount story is actually a good one to learn from. I started the week at 24.53% on the 4th of August. It climbed steadily, 24.78%, then 25.08%. And then on the 7th of August, it dropped down to 24.8%. That's a full percentage point lost in a single day. And it happened because I missed hitting the service button that morning. So the good news is it recovered immediately back up to 25.08% the very next day, and it held there for the rest of the week, closing at 25.08%. So the takeaway here is simple. The discount rewards consistency. One mistake could cost you quite a few points or percentage points, but it's recoverable the moment you're back on track. Just have to keep consistent, and if you're serious about maximizing this, set a daily reminder. It genuinely makes a measurable difference to your fees over time. Okay, this is the section a few of you specifically asked about. How do I actually handle my rewards once they land? So here's my process broken into 3 steps. So step 1, convert to Go mining. Every week I take a portion of my accumulated Bitcoin rewards and convert it into GoMining token. Why? Because that's what covers the 20% maintenance fee automatically. Instead of manually topping up fees every single day and worrying about running short, I keep a GoMining buffer topped up from my own rewards, so the maintenance side basically runs itself. Step 2. 50% of what's left is to USD. So once the gold mining conversion is handled, I look at whatever Bitcoin rewards remain and I convert half of this into USDC. I'm not trying to time the top, it's purely about risk management. I don't want 100% of my mining income exposed to Bitcoin's volatility. Locking in half as USDC means that even on a rough week for Bitcoin, I've still banked real stable value. Step 3, withdraw. So the remaining half I withdraw as actual Bitcoin straight out to my Tangent cold storage wallet. This is the part where I'd flag something important. The withdrawal fee has recently gone up, so it's now 300 Satoshis per withdrawal, up 100 Satoshi from where it started. That might not sound like much, but if you are only withdrawing small amounts, that fee starts to eat into your actual real percentage of what you're moving. That's the full loop. Convert for fees, half to USDC for stability, half withdrawn as Bitcoin for long-term holding. It's not the only way to do it, but this is what's working well for me, and it means I'm never caught short on fees, never fully exposed to Bitcoin swings, and I'm still stacking real Bitcoin into my cold storage every week. As always, let's look at the actual numbers for the week. So total rewards earned between the 4th and the 10th came to 0.0001 Bitcoin. This week's prices, that's around $6.92. Total accumulated all across all 7 miners. All times now sitting at 0.0007 Bitcoin, which is around $47. And this week, I actually want to show you the real proof, because this ties directly back to how the withdrawal strategy I just walked through. Here's my Tangent Wallet transaction history on screen. So you can see the Bitcoin landing today, the 10th of August. Before that, the 3rd of August. Before that, 27th of July. So, and you'll notice a pattern. These withdrawals are landing every week but not daily. So that's exactly the batching approach I described earlier. Letting rewards build up for the week and then pulling tiny amounts out constantly, and this just builds up over time. So real transactions, nothing simulated, everything confirmed on chain and sitting safely off platform in cold storage. That's the full week. Bitcoin up 2.7%, GoMining up 1.1%, discount now back up to 25%. And hopefully that withdrawal strategy breakdown was useful. If you've been wondering how to structure your own, daily updates go up every single day on the channel. And I'll see you back here next Monday for recap number 7. If this was helpful, do hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you next time.